in the SUV.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
She's too deadly for me. I met her at a market. She was selling beads. Table was too busy and she never noticed me. I put on a deadly shirt. It matched her ribbon skirt. It didn't take long till she was into me. She's too deadly for me.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
Got her bills paid off and a bachelor's degree.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
She's too deadly for me. She's too deadly for me.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
Got a brand new house and a master's degree.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
She's too deadly for me. Dependability,
That's right.
is what she wants in me.
You know what I mean?
No matter how I try,
You let me down every time.
I'm working on myself, and it's bound to take some time. Maybe we can both agree she's too deadly for me. She's too deadly for me.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
Got one more year for her PhD.
Too deadly, she's too deadly.
She's too deadly for me. Yeah, she's
Too deadly for me.
All right. That's right. That is Too Deadly for Me by Niji. And welcome, everybody. This week we have Kristen McKay. I'm just going to wait for her to jump in here as soon as possible. Chelsea's running a little bit late, so we're going to start off with our guest right away. Chelsea's got some childcare issues. You know how that goes, all you moms out there. On International Women's Day, we want to say what's up and give a big shout out to all the strong women in our lives. That's right. So what's everybody doing today? Maybe I'll sing a song. I'll sing a song while we wait for Kristen here. I've been working on a new album. And I just got the mastering back, so it's going to be out in the next couple months here. So just bear with me. Our lovely guest will be joining us all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba. But until she gets here. Ooh, there we go. Sorry, I'm just going to talk to Kristen for a second. Hello, Christine from Lapine, Oregon. We're just waiting on our guest here. Just give us a second. We'll be with you right away. I'm just trying to hold down the fort here. How's everybody doing out there today? Oh, you can't hear me. That's not good. Well, let's. Hello, can you hear me now? I'm just wondering. Oh, there's Kristen.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
it's going really good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm a little hectic here at the last minute. Like I said, earlier, good buddy Kurt is tested positive for COVID, and he wasn't feeling well enough to come on the live stream. He said he was coughing and stuff like that. And Chelsea's having a little bit of issues with her kids, trying to find somebody to help her control her munchkins while she comes on the live stream. So
For sure.
you're stuck with me on International Women's Day until she gets here.
Well, I'm really happy to be here. So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no, that's awesome. Why don't you tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself, Kristen? What kind of music you play, where you're from, what your relations are, those kinds of things.
Awesome. Well, I am Ojibwe Cree from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I really like to like for me it's definitely country, but it's more has like a alternative country kind of feel with just a bit of rock too. So kind of dabbling in the folk part of things too, as well as I've come to realize traditional music is folk music. So kind of touching on all of those things. I'm mainly, I like writing my own music. I do play covers. I have a cover band, and we do like kind of mix the covers with the originals as well. So it's going really good. Like music is like, such an amazing gift, and it's meant to be shared. So that's what we're trying to do. So
It's awesome. What's your band's name, and who are some of the other people in your band?
awesome. So like it's my band is called Prison Richard. So my lead guitar player is Kevin Bushy. He's from like Hollow Water First Nation here in Manitoba. He's been playing like for a lot of years. Like he's very conditioned, and I was really like I think I like totally struck gold. Like when him and I had contact, like my girlfriend actually suggested that I contact him because he had that same, country. And I was really leaning a lot on like the Waylon Jennings. Like I love 80s country. I really want to bring that back. So when him and I got together, it was just like really like synchronicity. We kind of like the same music, same style, and just even with like stage communication, it's like I feel really honored that like when I move, he moves too. So that's kind of like a really amazing thing that binds us. And then our bass player is John Ranger. He's from Thunder Bay, Ontario. So he's been with us for over 2 years now. So that's going, I think Prison Richard's been probably going for, I want to say actively about the last maybe 3.5 years, but more so in the last, like, I guess before the pandemic, we were pretty busy then. So
Sorry, Chelsea's texting me here.
that's okay.
Um, that's awesome. Do you have any family members that play music as well? Like a lot of us I started in a family band with my dad for like
For
20
sure.
years. I played with my old man, and then Kurt learned from his dad. What's your story in that way?
That way, yes. Like on my mother's side, they're very, like, very, very musical. Like if you don't sing or play guitar, bass, drums, like you definitely do something along those lines. So growing up, like our grandfather like played fiddle, so he's also really good to play the harmonica too. So I really like those two elements that he brought into our lives. Like it kind of helped, get us that, I guess, that appreciation of like this gift of music, right? So
Also, my grandfather was also a fiddle player. I never had the opportunity to meet him. He passed away before I was born, but that's kind of where my musical journey started, because my dad started playing guitar for fiddle music when he was a
yeah,
kid and went on to play and that whole thing. So yeah, I think it's a common theme in our community, like music, especially people that have struggled for so long. Like you said, music is it's a medicine, it's positive energy, and we all kind of drift towards it because it makes us feel so good, I think. What are some stuff that you have coming up?
well, right now, like right as we speak, I just finished like my second single. The first one is still unreleased, but this one I'm full tail planning on releasing it. So just working out stuff with that. It's really been quite the process. So like I feel, just pushing forward and deciding like where and what I really want to do with it, but like more or less to actually have something out and available. Like that was my biggest goal with this particular release, is I wanted to have something, that someone could search and like they could find like my music that way, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just about to do that. Probably like I would say before the end of this month, I'll have it out on some platforms. I'm just fine tuning all of that stuff right now, and just we're kind of coming back to having like I guess a semi-normal sense of things. So still just processing with that and having that ability to maybe perform live and in person, but like the virtual has been such a savior too with this last couple years. So
Well, why don't you sing us a song if you're so inclined? Can you
all
give
right,
us an example of your original music?
cool. All right, well, I'll sing this one. I'll definitely probably go take it back to the studio because that's my plan with all of them, but it's called Sandy, and I wrote it about
Say
I
hi
think I
to
wrote it in 2019. Hey,
Hi. Hey,
how
girl.
are you?
Sorry I'm a little late, guys.
him. No
Okay.
worries.
I was just gonna sing a tune for y'all.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so this one's called Sandy. I hope you guys like it. What you write can be easy. She's not mad, she's just leaving. The place she's going, it's a long way. When she gets there, she's gonna stay. Riding high in the cold dark night, wind in her hair, her spirit's free. The scars on her heart faded now, broken image of she used to be. There's no time to hold her down. Soaring high, her spirit's free. Wind in her hair, there's no looking back. Broken image who she used to be. All right.
Well, we have Christine Zielinski Scott who says, "Love your voice."
Thank you.
Michelle Young says, "Beautiful voice, I love it." And we have people all the way from where is this now? Queensland, Australia, watching us.
Wow.
So hello to Australia. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey. Hello
Newfoundland,
down under.
yeah, people watching. So that's great. Great song. Chelsea, you got anything to ask our friend Kristen here?
That's so funny. I was actually saying something and I forgot I put the microphone off because I have children in the other room just screaming and playing. And I'm like, I'm like, yeah, well, I did say, I was like, that's a very beautiful song. What was the inspiration behind it?
I think it was just more or less like really embracing like that sense of freedom, like prior to what our world has kind of gone through this last while. But yeah, I really took my writing to a different place. Like just I wanted to like I guess free myself with this song, and I guess just give myself a little bit more freedom with the things that I was going to create and make, I guess, and then eventually share. So
That's awesome.
Awesome. Sorry, that's a really it's a really beautiful song. Like, I'm a fan of yours. I don't know if you know that. I see
thank
your
you.
posts and stuff, and I'm like, wow, what an incredible woman. And we definitely need to, jam out and just
Yes,
hang out. You know what I mean? Like,
for
we have talked
sure.
about this before, and we never got
Yes.
around to doing it. But I would really love to. I
Well,
would really love that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so like just grounding and rooting one another, and I would love to play guitar for you, like just even with you, like create whatever and just breathe that. That's like it's such a something to definitely look forward to. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, like write a song together or
For
something.
sure.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
But don't ask Chelsea to write a song live on a live stream because
That's right. I
like,
make terrible faces, so I was like, mhm. Like it looked like I wasn't enjoying myself. I was like,
Maybe it was like you were kind of questioning what you were putting out there at the time.
so your songwriting process, what are you usually writing about? Is it personal stuff? Do you pick themes and move in? Okay, I'm going to ask a bunch of questions real quick and then you can just answer them. And do you write melody or lyrics first?
It depends. I write a lot of lyrics. Like I like to write based on like how I feel about something, like maybe like a word or say like a movement or some type of, gesture kind of inspired me. Like I'll sit on that and I'll find like the most descriptive word for me. And then I'll just kind of let, whatever creativity just flow right in there with it. But a lot of like ones where I do the lyrics first and then come back with the music. So it kind of always works like that for me most of the time.
That's cool. What about you, Chelsea? What's your preferred method of songwriting?
Not that I want to like steal music or lyrics, but I will go and listen to all like it starts with an idea of a song of what I want to say. Then I will go to a bunch of other songs and then just nitpick even a word or something. You know what I mean? Just pulling ideas. Half the time I don't use any of that stuff, but it's just kind of part of the process for me. I also need to be alone, and sometimes these songs can take like 5-10 minutes, and then sometimes they take like years to finish writing. I have a song that I had started that I really like, and there's one word, I swear, one word that would complete the song, and I would be able to move on to the next verse or finish the song, and I can't do that. And I'm like, well, I'm just not going to touch it. I'm just going to think on that over and over for the next couple of years more, probably. But it's a really personal thing for me. So I have to actually be alone, and I have to find that vulnerable place. I actually have to go to a moment in time, or imagine putting myself in that moment of what I'm writing about, what I'm singing about.
Absolutely.
What about you, Trent?
Well, I tried to write a country song back when I was a kid, and then I used to write. I've been playing music for a long time now. I know you guys don't know. I know I look very young, but I'm actually 47 years old. So I started playing when I was 20 years old, and I used to try to write country songs. And then once I just started to try and write music that I connected to, it got a little bit easier. I write all the time. I never co-write up until 4 months ago. Now co-wrote 7 songs together in a very short period of time. It kind of they flew through. But I'm more of a idea person. I start with the idea, and then I work out the arrangement of the song, like the chords and whatever, and then I dive into the lyrics because I have like a central idea. So for my next album, the central idea is homelessness, Indigenous homelessness. And it took me a long time to complete all these songs. There was 8 songs. I was a frontline worker dealing with homelessness, and I had to step away from the writing for a while because it was too much for me to take in, like all the things. And it's not like the songs are all that graphic, but they do take me back to things that I've seen as a frontline worker and experienced as a musician in my earlier years. So yeah, that was a way to personalize the idea. You know what I mean? That's what I try to do, is when I get an idea, I try to somehow put a personal spin on it. That's my thing.
For sure. It definitely would help with processing, and especially that when sometimes you're writing music, it's kind of like when words fail, like that's kind of when music comes. But mind you, the lyrics are still present, but like seeing stuff like firsthand like that, it would influence what you're singing about. And especially if it's trauma or something along those lines, like it'll harbor more for you that way. But I really think that's incredible, and thank you for your time with putting your work in this last couple years with this pandemic. That was a pretty tough time to go through, and thank you for all your hard work with that. I really appreciate that.
It's an amazing thing that this pandemic came along, even though like a lot of people struggled, but a lot of people had to pivot what they were doing and think of new ways to be creative and connect to people. And I think that this live stream came out of that as well, like this podcast that we're doing, because we felt that need to get together and connect with people and share the music and share the stories of the music. And I am thankful for the pandemic for that, for making me think more as a storyteller than just a musician, right?
Yes.
Wow.
For me too. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've been telling everybody I loved it when the pandemic hit and I didn't have to work for a while, but I miss it now. But I really love like the podcast and the other things that I'm getting involved in. It really slowed down a lot of things and put things in a perspective. Like me as a single parent, I did have help. I don't have help now. It's just me and my kids. But sorry, my kids. But it's, before like actually being just me and my kids, I decided that I just want to take it really slow getting back into music for this year. We had gotten, our hopes up last year that there was a gig and then there wasn't, there was a gig and then there was, and it was just going back and forth. And I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up. I don't want to, you know what I mean? But I also want to slow down. Like I was a yes person. Every single gig that came in and was like, yes, 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 yes. And yeah, I don't know. When it came to the pandemic, I was actually really, really, really relieved that there weren't any gigs for a while. I don't know if anybody else felt like that, but I did.
No, I was like upset that they just all got taken away. I was just starting. I was like, oh, I think I might have had like 14 right away, just gone. Then I sat with another, maybe, I don't know, a good 12 or something. And this was just like February. So I was really like, the part about it for me, it's like I feel like as much time as I may have lost within that 2 years, like I was a frontline worker through it and still am right now too. So like I have like that that thankfulness to have like given the time to come back and kind of like work on my brand and just really like be like real with myself. It's like I wanted to sit with myself, and then I had no choice to sit with myself. So then that's when I was like, hey, well, might as well just keep pushing. And I mean, I was not really playing or rehearsing with my band for like 2 full years. We just had our first show like a couple of weekends ago, and I was like, wow, like this, I remember this, and it was so great. But like it's different now, but better, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate like that we get to stand on stage again. It's pretty awesome.
Well, I totally get it. Like today, I have no idea how my daughter finally somehow accessed videos and photos. videos and photos like from the like that I thought I lost from previous phones, and I find this hilarious video. It was just the audio of me and Firestone Boys, and I'm on the drums. First of all, that was like it's really terrible. But it's like, like just being around other band members, and you know what I'm saying, all these entertainers, that's the part that I miss the most. Yeah, and it was just it was like from a couple of years ago, and it was just me and my sister were just laughing. I wish I could post it. I totally shouldn't, and I don't think I should post it.
Well, at least you have it to enjoy it though, right?
Yeah. And but we didn't I had to kind of just give up on my band. We couldn't gather, and they were a part of different bands, and I was like, it's not fair to try to be like holding on to my band members, and they have all these other things going on, and we just, you know what I mean. I think I would start again later with different people, or the same guys if they really wanted to. But yeah, it was just a really big disappointment, and I was like, you know what, I'm not really into this right now. But tell me about shows. Tell me that you have a bunch of shows coming up, because I know that you have some incredible things that were going on, and yeah, tell us about that.
Okay, like I do have some shows coming up, and like I have 2 bookings like this month, so I'm really excited about them. One is like a night with the aunties. So this one, it's like myself, and I believe there's 7 or 8 other performers, just other female Indigenous performers, like from Winnipeg, Manitoba area type thing. So some of us are coming like with our own band. Some of us are kind of coming, to play with the backup band they have there. But I'm also like doing something a little bit different, like with having all the like downtime of not playing with my band. It kind of like basically like it gave me that chance to just kind of work with like, and not anybody, but to work with some particular, musicians for a drummer, right? So right now I have like my girlfriend is filling for us right now, and she's doing a really rocking job on it. But I know she's going to be busy with her stuff soon too. But her 15-year-old son plays drums. And so for this next show we have on I believe it's the 19th, he's going to play drums. Like, so I'm really excited to showcase that. And, like give him that space to just, rock out. And he's really like getting so good. I'm really happy. And I hope that, maybe he can meet some other people that are there to kind of, they can start a band or something, because like music, it's such like a gift to be shared, and he's so passionate about it. Like, so I'm really excited to get him down there, and we're going to do, I think, about 7 songs. So I told him that we're most likely going to cover some CCR, and then the rest will be original track. So we're excited about that. Then same venue too, we have another booking at the end of the month, and we're playing with 2 metal bands. So we're playing with Whalehammer and Ronnie Ladderbrook and the Electrics. So I'm really excited, and it's not even at all like that that intimidating, because I just like some of these guys, like I've been following them and just like watching them grow as artists themselves, and sharing that stage, like, that honor is just, it takes a lot, like to, just enjoy that. So I'm really looking forward to that booking with them. And just, thank you so much, Ronnie, for always having such a stellar night planned for us. So I'm really excited about that. But everything's still kind of up in the air. So I will definitely have more performances and more bookings just as time goes.
So on the night with the aunties, who's the deadliest auntie?
Wow, that's a great question. They're all so deadly. It's like I think they have to equally tie.
Awesome. And playing with a metal band, that's interesting. That's a lot, especially when your music doesn't mesh up. Sometimes it's good as long as the crowd is expecting,
Yes, so they're very no to Prison Richard. So I mean, like, I'm going to be honest. Like I think I should be a little intimidated, but I'm not. We had a fill in with a couple other metal bands, like way like before when the pandemic first came. It was different, but yeah, like I got it done, and it kind of I felt like we kind of rocked up all the country tunes, and it, so I was really excited about that. This one it'll be more of a showcase of like the originals, so it's like I'm excited about that too. So.
That's
My
awesome.
band was a metal band, was a rock band, and I loved it. That country chose me. You know what I mean? I'm like, I was trying so hard to look country for like the longest time. I'm like, female country singers have tattoos and red hair,
Mhm.
right?
They do. Of course they do.
And they rock the Guns N' Roses t-shirts and everything, right? I'm like, I'm sure they do. No, I was trying. My first band was rock. That's what my passion was that music. Like I love
Mhm.
it. Now I'm just straight up country.
Yeah, I like it too. I mean, like, I feel like it's very like we're very rooted there. I mean, like it's a very safe place, and for me, like country music, it makes me feel like home. That's how I feel. So I like love 80s country. 90s country was great too, but 80s is more like, they still meant it. They I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I love Waylon Jennings. So like my interpretation of like some of the sounds and stuff with some of my original, it's like the female Indigenous Waylon Jennings. So I'm gonna strive for that for some time. And I don't know, like I love country music too. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's amazing. So
Why don't you sing us another song?
all
Yes.
right.
As soon as Andrew says, "My money is on Kristen." Just
I saw that. Did you want me to play the new release I have coming out, or?
sure, let's do that.
Okay.
Get a sneak peek of it.
All right. So this one is called Black as Night. I just recorded it at Studio 23 with Jody Hunter over this past winter. So he's my producer with that. And I'm really excited to, finally have something out there, something it's like my staple, right? It's I've been going for all this time, but, just can't wait to release it and put it out there. So I hope you guys like it. She's addicted in the morning and keep her eyes closed at night. She hangs her head by the river, slowly faded in the night. Her heart has to bleed dry. No more tears she can cry. Her smile is darker than the night. Inside her she's got no fun. A broken image of who she used to be. It's not what people choose to see. The darkness took over the light. It still shines so bright. Her heart has to bleed dry. No more tears she can cry. inside her she's got no fun. She's addicted in the morning. All right.
Awesome. Love it.
Thank you.
No, that's not what I wanted. Trying to set this up.
Whew. Yeah, so I'm
Um,
really excited to get that out there and just it's just, you know, it came along like really good for me. Like it just flowed really naturally, and I really like, you know, just the other elements that I put into it once I took it to the studio. So it's a really good tune in my opinion. So
I can't wait to hear it. When are you releasing the song?
well, I initially set like the 25th to kind of be like that go-to day, but I'm still just processing some stuff, and you know, I kind of came to like a couple hurdles, so I'm not gonna push it back any further than that, but I'm really planning like to stick with the 25th. Like it's been waiting long enough, so it's yeah.
This month, March 25th?
Yeah, this month.
It is always tough when you're releasing new music, especially when you're releasing it on your own, to know when's the right time, how quickly should I put it out there, you know, because you're relying on your own, pretty much your own brain to make all the decisions if nobody's helping you. Because I've been doing this for a while, releasing my own music, and I've made every mistake you could possibly make, but just keep doing it, because that's the main thing. Just keep creating and keep releasing music, because that song is just one moment in time, and you got tons more moments in time ahead of you, believe me. And there's going to be lots more music for you to come, and that's a great song. So just get it out there and get people to listen, because that's awesome. That's half the battle. Chelsea disappeared. She it went silent at her house. That's when you know the kids are getting in trouble. When you
She needed a mom moment. So
yeah. So I saw on your social media that you went on a tour this summer, did you not?
I did, yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Because not a lot of people had the opportunity to do shows. Well, I guess the summer did open up, and I did do some shows as well. I shouldn't lie. But I mean, it was so sporadic, and it happened so quickly. You know, for summer, we just got started. We did about four or five gigs, and then bam, it was gone again. So
Yeah.
it was pretty frustrating.
Oh, it was like for myself too. Like I just stopped putting like any pressure on like the field to, you know, I love playing out. I love standing on stage, but just, you know, with the pandemic, you gotta wait, right? So when the Manitoba Arts Network kind of consulted with me about the tour, like they just mentioned that this was their first bout of tours they were going to do. So they did a northern tour of northern Manitoba. They did that with some male artists, and then the southern tour they did with some female artists. So it was pretty awesome, the whole experience. We got to do, I think, 9 different communities and towns. Some of them were like First Nation communities. We actually got to finish the tour in my home nation of Pine Creek First Nation. So that was pretty awesome. And just the experience with, you know, the you know, checking into your hotel, you know, just making sure you're rehearsed, you know, like I had taken like I think probably 2 parts of my closet, because it's mostly stage wear, you know, and I'm very big on that visual too. So like I always have different like outfits and coats, and you know, it's a girl thing, I guess, but I really like, I just like soaked all of that in, like every stop, and I did a lot of the driving too. So it was really nice to just hit, you know, that open road, and just you're going out there gigging every night compared to not gigging for 2 years. So that was pretty awesome. I really, I strongly suggested, like, if you can do it, if you know, if you have like music programs, or you know, in your region, I guess, like, but otherwise too, like I said that I want to make my own, like I'm very good on the phone, so I could probably do a bunch of bookings all the way from here, maybe to like Alberta and back, you know what I mean? Like it'd be nice to finally be able to do. So like it's a good feeling to be on the road playing music. Like that was my first experience. Like so I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Gotta love mom moments. That's right.
Yeah.
I know. Trent
told
showing me,
Kristen.
like the comments are popping up here, and I'm just like, "Geez,
I
guys."
told Kristen you got very silent, so your kids must have been getting into trouble. That's why you just.
I
didn't
was
hear
debating if I should just for shits and giggles go get a wooden spoon, you know, something. No,
Have you ever
I'm
been hit
kidding.
by a wooden spoon?
Sadly, yes, quite a few.
I shouldn't say
Millennial
that,
moms.
'cause my mom will be watching this or something, and she'll be like, "Bullshit! I never hit you with a wooden spoon." So no, my mom never hit me.
I wasn't. My mom wasn't allowed to spank me because my grandfather never did, and he went and told her he's like, I will spank you if you spank her, you know. So no, usually it's enough to just point a finger at my kids, you know. Just
The mom.
yeah, but I have a toddler, so who doesn't care or listen? Fun.
She's actually pretty good. Like, Kelsey came over to sing some harmony on my album, and she didn't have anybody to take care of Amy, so she brought Amy with her. And Amy's like 3 years old, and she did sit quiet for a little while, and then she started to run around and then try to be quiet and look at us and kind of giggle and run around all a few times, but it was fine.
Well, Trent had his back turned to me anytime that she come try to run to me or whatever, and I'm trying to sing. I'm like,
I did not see that, so for sure I didn't see that. I thought she was just being a well-behaved little angel.
kidding. She is pretty good when it comes to like when I'm practicing learning new music or trying to write. But lately she's at that age now, like almost 4, where she's like putting her little hand on my mouth like my son did at that age. And, you know, I had to go buy a new roll of duct tape.
Oh my God.
So we've been asking you all these questions and diving into your personal life. You got any questions for us?
Do you guys have you been to Manitoba? Like, well, obviously not lately, but in your past, like with all your bookings and stuff, have you guys come this way much?
I have. I've been to Amp Camp in 2012, so I came out that way. I was at the 2014 Aboriginal People's Choice Awards with Young Medicine. I was playing bass for Kurt and his partner there. And yeah, that's about it for me and my Manitoba experience in Winnipeg. I'd like to come out there and play again because there's so many great musicians out there. You know, it'd be nice to go out and just take in the scene a little bit. What about you, Chelsea?
There's this dingy bar that Owen Auger went over to this bar over there and said that he was like, "Oh yeah, Ernest Munia says hi, you need to come." They waited really long for me to get ready, and by the time that I forget the name of that bar. It's actually there's a you have to know what bar I'm talking about in Winnipeg.
It's the Westbrook.
Yes, the Westbrook. I've been to the Westbrook.
Oh, okay.
I've been to a couple events in Winnipeg, and they've all been actually pretty great. I've been to the Indigenous People's Music Awards. I don't know what it's called, but that was back in. It was back in 2012, I think, or 2014 with Sean Bernard. So we got to do a performance then, and went to support Beatrice Love when she hosted. Is that what they're called now? The Indigenous People's Choice Awards?
I think it's the Indigenous Music Awards.
Indigenous Music Awards. That's right.
Yeah, it used to be
Um,
CMAs,
I
Aboriginal.
have done a couple of gigs there in Winnipeg, and I love Winnipeg. I just don't like the drive. I don't like driving there. It's really confusing for me, but it's a beautiful place.
Like you
What's
just in the city or just coming here from where you are, like that
The
drive.
city, the city. I think I almost ran a pedestrian over and caused an accident a few times, but it's really scary for me to drive in Winnipeg.
Well, I guess there's maybe a lot of brave people on the streets here. I'm not sure, but it's like for me, it's it's home, but sometimes it's like it's just so small. Like that's how I really feel. So I love Winnipeg and it's pretty awesome, but lots of snow here this year, so it's made for a rough commute, I guess, but it's home. So
It has like a New York feel to it.
you think so?
Yeah, there was a couple of buildings. I remember I don't remember which hotel it was, but I had this beautiful view, and some of the buildings just reminded me of like New York, kind
Mm-hmm.
of like scenes from like New York, and it was just really, I don't know, it just has a different feel. Winnipeg just has a different feel, a good one. I don't have the words for it, but yeah.
I'm
Other than
glad
the
you, I'm,
yeah.
I'm glad you felt that way here. So that's pretty awesome.
Hmm.
What about you? Have you ever been to Edmonton?
A few times, yeah. Like I went out there to go and the first time I was there to see the Foo Fighters, so that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Sweet. I don't really come from Edmonton. I grew up in Red Deer, so
Okay.
just south of here. But I've been here for about 6 years now, so it's home
Awesome.
now.
How like what's the music scene like over there? Like after the pandemic and stuff. Like.
It's slow right now. Like they just started releasing all the restrictions just the last couple weeks. People are playing again, slowly but surely. But I mean, I think for a while, not a lot of the bars really understood what the rules were either. So they were waiting. And so I think it's going to pick up now, hopefully. Like I had a gig last weekend. Hopefully there'll be more to come in the near future with,
Also,
yeah. So we're just
well, Auntie's
digging.
got a dance, right? So
Yeah, that's true. We need some more deadly aunties to come out this way and do a show.
for sure. Well, like honestly, like I'm really like I'm pretty free these days. So like shoot me a message if you guys are ever looking for some, some musicians. Like that would be a really nice travel there. Like
Yeah.
it's like probably a lot of festivals will start happening like hopefully this year. So I know I had two of them that I was gonna perform in last year, but they both got canceled because of like the pandemic. But more just as a solo artist, like I kind of started branching off doing that too. Because I mean, you can't gather, you can't play like with a full band. So it's like I just kind of kept going, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool too. I don't mind doing that. Sometimes I have a couple other things too, like I've been working on with I don't know, just I love music and everything, but like I get so busy with even my job too. It's kind of hard to like really balance. Like now that I'm trying to release music, like I see the difficulties that it is. It's one thing to, like book shows and go play them, but it's another thing too, like when you really have to sit down and, do like the like just the uploading, the updating, like all your platforms and stuff like that. It's kind of like I said, I've kind of come to some bridges where like I'm looking and assessing like, do I want to go this way or not? Do I want to use this, this platform or not? You know what I mean? So that way, like I feel like I don't know, like I'm really excited like to play out and just to have something, like a like I said, like a staple. So I'm really excited about this release. It's been a long time coming.
So what do you do for a day
Yeah.
job? You were just
Well, I'm actually like in the healthcare field. That's kind of where like my education and training is. But I worked as like a health and safety services worker / pandemic officer. So I've been doing that for like the last couple years, and then just really been like poured myself into that for a while, and just kind of, I don't know, been, just doing like the marketing and, like learning how to write grant letters and stuff like that through the pandemic too. Like it's a lot of work, but, like if you can manage your time well, it's like you could be very successful that way. But it's a lot, like especially if you're doing it yourself. Like this far, like I don't have a manager I work with. No one does my bookings except for me. So I just I'm not really pushing too hard for anything. I kind of just want to ease my way back into it. But as much as I've missed playing, I look forward to going back to the studio too. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. So you've been a healthcare worker, so you've been pretty busy then over the pandemic for sure.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, very busy, like some really, really, really long days, and just learning, like, I don't know, like you'd be surprised like how often, like, even yourself, you catch yourself with doing things, that obviously are kind of like a little bit less supported these days. But yeah, like just, the protocols, the restrictions, they're really hard to kind of get used to at first. And then it was like I was almost at that point where like I was kind of like almost like angry, not bitter, but kind of angry, because of the pandemic. And it just halted everything with my music. Like it just came to like a complete stop, right? So then I just, took some time to, learn how to, do some other kind of work, like some, marketing, like promotions, trying to dabble into like the digital point of things. But there's too much to get involved with there. That's a big commitment. And I'd rather just, I'll learn as I go if I do need to go that way. But otherwise too, like I've just, taken a lot of time to kind of get really good with myself, and did a lot of like, inner, uh, I guess restructuring, so to say. So like there's, like my day role I have, I'm very busy with that. But then there's, my music and stuff I have too. But just with everything, it kind of evolved. Like I don't know, was doing like some podcast series myself there too for a while. So I had one called Sage Talk. So with that, it just kind of like, it literally just like it evolved so quickly. And before like I really realized like what it was I wanted to do with it, it just one day just kind of came. And like I realized, like it's one thing to travel, like, with your music and all that kind of stuff. But like I stopped and looked at like how much like healing is needed right now. And it kind of gave me a new perspective on like what, or how to use my voice, So I've been talking about like wanting to create like a trauma response team, and like to travel to like northern communities across Canada, the States, and talk about stuff that, like anything like with traumas, Indian residential school, day school, like dabble on stuff with like, bullying and, suicide prevention, maybe even a little bit of diabetes prevention, as my background is, medical. So there's lots I'd like to share with our, our youth. And yeah, so that's kind of something new I've been kind of sitting with. And, I'm really excited to push that too. Like it feels like it's like my soul's purpose. That's kind of how I felt about that. So I know it's like some really big auntie shoes to fill, but I'm quite ready to fill those shoes. So.
that's awesome.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
One more song for us before we're out of our
Sure.
We got about 5 minutes left in our hour here, so why don't you sing us a song, and then we can say goodbyes and do all that awesome stuff.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I really appreciate y'all sharing your platform with me today. I thank you for the time and energy we shared here. So do you guys want to hear a cover, or you want to hear another original?
Original.
whatever you want to sing us, but original would be better for me.
All right. So this one is called No More Good Times. I wrote this to tribute and honor like our murdered and missing Indigenous women and girls. So this will be the next one that I take to the studio. So it's called No More Good Times. She came for the good times. She didn't want to go home. She said, let's long down the sunshine. She's so tired of being alone. She thought he was a good guy. And now she won't be back no more. She gave up the sunshine when she got into his car. Now there's no more good times, no more sunshine on your face. She was searching for a good life, not this cold, dark place. She said, I've had a good life. Too bad it had to end. She said, I'll come back someday. As a whisper in the wind, she said, I'll come back someday. As a whisper in the wind. All right.
Sweet. Nice job.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I was like on mute again.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
nothing coming.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful song. And you said that was for our stolen sisters.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I have a stolen, my sister Amy. So that really meant something to me. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Well, my story with it too is like, you know, I want to sing about things that like some of us are still scared to talk about. You know, I feel like we've been silent for way too long. And, you know, especially for our sisters like that are, you know, they're still calling out to us and we'll never stop searching for them. You know what I mean? Like in that way, you know, like whatever like we're carrying from them, like from that time we shared with them, it's like that never goes away. So it's like that want and that need to continue to search. It's like that will never go away either. So I'm really glad you found comfort in that. So
Thank you. Well, any last thoughts, Trent?
No, I'm good. This was fun, Kristen. It was nice to know you. I've been friends with you on Facebook and I've seen your posts, but I've never really had a conversation. So this was enlightening and yeah, thank you.
And I definitely didn't want to miss it because first, you know, I had to figure something out. Like I was scrambling around. I'm like, oh my God, there's like 10 minutes and I didn't see it, you know, because I'm so wonderful with time, first of all. And then I was like, no, I can't miss this one because it's Kristen McKay. You know, like I love you. You're, you're super amazing. I love, the things that you're doing, the music that you're creating, and I hope to catch one of your shows live in the near future, hopefully like really soon. I will travel there. Let me know.
I certainly will.
The auntie show would be awesome, I still like
Yeah,
looking like an auntie,
for sure. Well, it's on the 19th if you're in this area. Come on down.
Okay. But yeah, thanks again for joining us, and I hope that you had a wonderful evening with us too, and everybody watching.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this time, and it was like a true honor to come here today. So I thank you guys for sharing that with me.
Thank you. So everybody who is watching, and I highly suggest that you go and follow Kristen on her page and go look for her music and stuff. And yeah, thank you guys again for tuning in.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great evening, and thank you for everyone that stopped by, and thank you so much for having me.
Come back and read the comments. There's some really great comments in there for you.
Awesome. I certainly will. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
See you guys.